Good morning. We'll start off with another question. Leave me a comment below. Tell me how you like to start seeds. What do you start them in? As far as trays or sales go. And what type of medium do you use as far as seed starting mix or dirt, whatever. Tell me how you do seed starting. So for this Shed Wars video for Team Woodcutter, I'm gonna be talking about seed starting. I feel like that this has been my year of seed starting. It's really come together better than it has in the past. I mean, I've done a lot of seed starting over the years, and some years are better than others, but this year I've really had some good success. And so I want to just sort of talk through that. There's several videos earlier than this of me going through this process, and you see some of my success and some of my failures. But I have had some success here lately, and so I just want to talk through the process and what I use and how I'm doing seed starting. So for me, I've got, this is a tray. I've got watermelons here. And this is the Cherokee Tan pumpkins that I couldn't say the other day. Look at them things. Boy, they are looking good. And this is another tray of watermelons here. See, I got a few empty sales. These are some older seed that I had, so I wouldn't expect to get 100% on this. But I got pretty close. I got most sales filled in. I got 3 here that I'm missing, and maybe 2 down here that I didn't get to come in, so that's pretty good. So these are the trays from the 48 sale Hall seed starting kit. Each tray here has 24 sales, and there's 2 of these trays in the kit that makes up 48 sales. Now, I really like these trays. I like these sales. They're a larger sale, so they don't need as much water, as frequent as watering. I still water them a couple times a week normally, but just as they start to dry out, I'll go ahead and water them again. Remember, I talked about my bottom watering in the earlier sunflower video. But these trays they're sturdy. You can pick them up one-handed, set them back down, take them out to the garden to plant, whatever you need to do, move them around for watering or lights, whatever. That's what I like. I've got, this is an actual 1020 tray. I think I bought this from Bootstrap Farmers, the website, and these are good sales. They are tiny, and I like the sturdiness of this. These, if nothing else, I love the 1020 trays that come with this, because they're very sturdy. This kit, I don't remember how many sales this was. I'm not gonna sit here and do the math, but this one was too small of a sale really for how I like to seed start. You see, I got this is some old lettuce that I started. I didn't plant it all, and I just got to clean this out. But they do make Bootstrap Farmer. They've got some other kits out there, or other trays with larger sales. I think I just don't have any of those. Those are a good sturdy tray. You know, you can. I don't have any. I normally have some the 6-packs and things like that sitting around here, or the real lightweight 1020 trays. I think they've all fallen apart and been thrown away. But those are good if that's what you use, man. Those things are fine. They're very inexpensive. You can buy a large amount for a pretty decent amount of money. But they're flimsy. They're hard for me to work with, and I'm always moving my plants around out here around my lights. I'm always moving around for watering and that type of thing, and carrying them out to the garden. So I really like a good sturdy tray, and that's what I like about these kits. I showed you in my sunflower video that 162 cell tray from Halls. that is a good, if you're starting a lot of vegetables, that is good. For me, that 162, I see a lot of people that they'll start peppers and tomatoes and squash and cucumber, they'll start all kinds of things in that one tray. I like to start very similar vegetables in one tray. I'm getting this dirt all over me. I like to start, all tomatoes or all peppers or all watermelons, and this is watermelons and pumpkins, but they're pretty similar in how they come up and that type of thing. So I like to have a smaller tray because I don't need 162 of peppers, 162 peppers, 162 tomatoes. I just don't need it for my garden. Now, with these, I started tomatoes in these this year, and I didn't need all those. I ended up giving a bunch of those away, which I like to do. And then I even had the 12 cell trays over there from the 24 cell kit. So I really like these smaller trays. That 162 for starting a big batch of something is good, but I like to start very similar plants in one tray because they germinate differently. And if you start peppers and tomatoes in the same tray, they need to be treated differently. They're going to germinate differently. They're going to grow differently, and then you've got them compete with each other. So I like to do it like that. As far as medium goes, this is the Pro Mix from Hoss from their kits. So I got this earlier this year. This is really good stuff. It grows well. The seeds start well in it. It's very fine as far as the mix goes. But Hoss, they run out of the Pro Mix this year, so I couldn't order any more, and I needed some more. I can typically find this Jiffy. This is an old empty bag here. It's full of trash, but this is a Jiffy seed starting mix. This is what I can buy locally at Walmart or local box farm store. And even, I can buy this locally. It's a really good seed starting mix. This is what I've used a lot. But then I got to where I couldn't find this. So I've got over there, it's a bale of, I'm not sure how you say it. It's Heveco, Heveco, peat moss. And that's what I think that these watermelons are started in. I know that those zinnias are started in it. And I also bought a little bag of perlite that I mix in with it because it doesn't have the perlite in it. So I mix that in. I've had really good results since I've started using that. And again, it's what you can find locally, and ordering online with the way things have been going here lately. That's what I used for a lot of my later seed starts. So find you a good mix. Now, if you've watched any of my earlier seed starting videos, you saw that Hoss, they had put this in the kit, and the instructions said to mix this in with your seed starting mix but when you first mix up your mix and put it in the trays. That did not work. This stuff, it actually heated up a little bit and got too hot on my seeds, and so don't do that. But this is good stuff. I've not tried any more since, but what I do is, when my plants start putting on the true leaves, I'll mix a real light mixture of Miracle-Gro. Bottom water with that. Then I'll come back about a week later and I'll mix it just a little bit stronger. So a Miracle-Gro has the spoon in it. It has the big end and the little end. So my first one is I just put 1 scoop in my watering can, mix that up. It's very light. And then I'll water with that. I'll come back with my water can about a week later when they're really starting to take off, and I'll hit it with 2 of the little scoops in the watering can. And then I'll do that maybe once or twice more before it's time for them to get out. Now, what I found is, even growing under lights, plants do get leggy, especially under lights, if they're not getting good natural light. What I found is, when you do the Miracle-Gro, it really helps. Excuse me. It really helps the plants to take off, and they sort of overcome that legginess if you fertilize them well. Let me show you my lights. This is one of the main lights I've used this year. I've got, I think it's two 2 of these, and I got 2 other ones that I found at Walmart. These I found at, we got an Atwood. It's a farm store, box farm store. It's like Tractor Supply for some of you others. This is what I found, and it's really been working well with these. The challenge I've got right now is I've got plants at different stages, and trying to maximize my heights, and the way I've got things set up over there, I've got to improve on that, because I did have some plants get leggy because I had my plants higher for maybe something like these than other plants that are shorter still. So I've had, like my sunflowers, they've got a little bit leggy on me. I'm hoping they overcome that with some fertilizer, but and that they are starting to stand up a little bit better. But that is something I'm struggling with right now. You know, other options, and I use these. This is the Jiffy Peat pellet. I talked about that. If I'm just wanting to start a few of something, I may use one of these, get it germinated, and then put the plant in a cup. That's really my favorite ways of seed starting. These cups and these trays. Like I said, I've tried those little flimsy 6-cell packs and those types of things. And those work well, but they're not. They're just flimsy and they don't hold up. You use them for a year, then you throw them away, and that's fine if that's how you like to do things. I really, like I said, I like to buy and then use for several years. I'm hoping these trays hold up. I'll let you know if they don't. But that is how I've been seed starting. I'm going to show you a little bit of my setup as I talk here. But that's how I'm doing it this year. It's really worked well. Get you plenty of lights. I've got 4 of those 4-foot lights, and I really need more. Get you plenty of lights. Don't try to do like I've done in the past and operate with one little clamp light or something like that, because you just don't get enough light. You've got to get plenty of light right on top of those plants. Kyle Keel, he talks about how he stacks them up under books or blocks of lumber, even whatever you've got. But that really works well. But get yourself plenty of lights. I would say have at least 2 lights. So for a setup like this, I've got these under 2 lights over there. So I've got, you know, a light and a light. Don't have just 1 light. It just doesn't work. So you need to have plenty of lights. In some cases, I think right now I've got 3 lights over all my trays. So get yourself plenty of lights. Water them frequently, and then, like I said, hit them with that Miracle-Gro, whatever your favorite water-soluble fertilizer is. Haas has the 20-20-20. I think you can mix that up real light and use it much like you do the Miracle-Gro. I just like what I can buy locally sometimes because I can go pick it up and not have to order it, even though I'm ordering a lot from Haas, seems like right now. So, hey, I appreciate you guys watching this one. This may end up being a little bit long, but this is how I'm seed starting. Tell me how you're seed starting, what you like to use as far as trays and medium goes, and I'd love to hear about that. I appreciate you watching this one, and I will catch you on the next video. Goodbye.